Heidi ho, boys and girls. It's time for another Jeep Talk show. We're going to be talking with Dottie. Dottie is a dedicated community leader with, I was going to say with a certificate in outdoor, but that would be cool if it was actually a certificate in outdoor. And an outdoor enthusiast based in Michigan, where she serves as a driving force behind Jeep Babes Enthusiast Club. With a passion for off-road lifestyle and heart for service, she focuses on turning trail rides. Can you tune a trail ride? I think that'd be really cool if you could tune a trail ride. Tune it for fun. And love of Jeeps into powerful movements for good. From coordinating large-scale charity fundraisers to enjoying the trail, she has mastered the art of combining a love for adventure with a mission to give back to the community. Dottie, thanks for joining us again. Last time you were on the show was August 22nd. And if you guys would like to look up that episode and catch last year's, it's a Jeep Talk Show interview episode with Dottie from Jeep Babes, Michigan, and an exclamation mark, because that was important. So you can go over right now to, is that a JB, as in like JB Weld, jbmichigan.org? Is that the right for the website?
That is correct, yeah.
I like the JB Weld reference. People all know how to spell JB Weld. All Jeepers know what JB Weld is.
Of course, yeah. It's strategic.
All right. Yeah, all right. So again, thanks for coming back. And that must mean you have a new event coming up about around this time, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Appreciate you for having me back, Tony. Always good to talk to you. We're gearing up for our 5th annual Show and Shine event, where we raise funds for a local charity called Haven. And they provide resources for survivors of intimate partner abuse, everything from court advocacy, personal protection orders, all of that, to support somebody in transition. And this is a very close to our heart fundraising event to help out Haven.
I think I understand what you're talking about. I have never understood. I'm not saying the thought never crossed my mind, but I just can't understand how a man could hit a woman, or worse.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, right.
They're smaller. I was always taught that we're supposed to be champions and protectors, and not the other way. However, when my ex-wife hit me with a left, I think it was a right, in the eye, my reaction was to try to hit her back. Fortunately, she hit me in the eye and I couldn't see clearly. so I just grabbed her and put her down and asked her if she wanted to stop. So I think the line is drawn that if you're attacked, I mean, I don't think that you should just go nuts. You should stop the attack, of course. So so I can certainly understand how those situations can occur, but it doesn't give you free rein as a man to remove the threat. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And just to call out too, it's not always, just in the scenario you shared, it's not always a man is the aggressor.
I didn't think about that.
There are a lot of flipped situations where, and it's a stigma. Like, I think it's a very fair assumption because yes, men tend to have better and greater physical strength than women.
Right.
And, so that is like a very common assumption that it's always the male who's the aggressor. But that's the great thing about Haven is they don't just support women who are displaced. They help everybody, women, children, even pets. So if you have to flee your home and you have a child and your dog, Haven's going to be able to support you. So definitely something to call out. It's not always the men that are the aggressor.
I'm glad I mentioned that. I never even considered the other way around. So and also too, I'm glad I mentioned it because I can't see me seeking help for being beat up from my girl.
I would say that, it's probably a lot of a pride thing. And I get
absolutely.
That.
Because I mean, just the teasing.
Yeah.
Not from you guys, but the teasing from the other men.
Right.
Dude,
and that's
are you serious?
Right. Exactly. And that is, I think, something that we're seeing a little bit of a shift in new generations, but it's definitely, even in, growing up, the man is the provider and he is the stronger one in the relationship. And he is, he's the rock, if you will. And, don't show emotion and don't cry. And you're not allowed to have these feelings. So for a man to seek help, I do agree. And I think it's a pride thing, and it comes with like a certain stigma that maybe you're weak because you have to ask for help. And we hope to change that.
It's not. I think asking for help is always a good thing. It's funny. I've told my wife about this, and I tell our children, especially our daughters, especially the ones that are really hard-headed, because I'm very hard-headed. But my mom told me a long time ago, if you're trying to do something and you don't know exactly what you're supposed to fill out or where you're supposed to go or whatever, tell the person that's there helping you or that is there to help you, I'm sorry, I've never done this before, so I'm a little lost in what I'm trying to do, or I don't know exactly what steps I should take. I've used it for years. It's honest, but I've used it for years. It completely changes their outlook, because we have this vision in our head that this is a strong individual. They know exactly what they're doing. I always say 99% of being a man is acting like you know what you're doing. Doesn't mean you know what you're doing. You just act like it. And that comes across if you're successful at it. But as soon as you tell them you need help, most people are really understanding and helpful. They don't laugh at you. They tell you stuff that you didn't know or you wouldn't have had access to. And it usually makes the process go a lot faster and easier.
Yeah, I agree. I think it humanizes us, right? So yes. You have a tendency to maybe assume somebody knows something because of a title or, their place in society. And then when somebody comes in and is like, hey, I don't have all the answers, I think it immediately eliminates those layers and those barriers that we impose internally and make these assumptions about people. So I think that is the biggest thing. I always taught my son, it never hurts to ask. Yes. I need help, or can I do this thing? Whatever it is, never hurts to ask.
Yep, absolutely. So, and I think it's a good thing for both sexes to ask for help. Okay, so I'm going to back up here. I was going to start with this, and then I got too involved in the conversation, which is a good thing. I've got to ask you about your last name. That is a very interesting last name. Is it your maiden name, or is that your married name if you're married?
This is my married name. It's my husband's family is, we always thought it was German, but he has done a little bit of research and found out that he's mostly Norwegian, Viking. So I don't know where the name comes from. It is interesting. I definitely had some reservations about taking it. I was just going to ask. But, he was in the Army, so there was lots of jokes floating around about private drips. But so you just said it. The last name is Drips. It's got two P's in it. Yep. And so, what are some of the things that you've heard? I've got two for you. I think that it would be a perfect name for a plumbing company. Yep. Or a coffee place. Oh yeah, I like the coffee shop idea. Yeah. I've had people tell me I should write children's books. It's a very like whimsical kind of a name. It really is. And things like that. But I don't think I've heard the coffee shop one. I like that. Oh, good. I like coming up with something that isn't the normal thing. So are there any good ones that you've heard that are not hurtful? Not really. People just play with my name. Generally growing up, I've always had nicknames, and people just, they make up their own thing. Nothing really crazy or unique or even offensive. It's just I kind of go with it. You're lucky. You're a girl. When you're a guy, I mean, that would be torture. And also too, I can imagine if he was in the military, it was torture. Yeah. Oh yeah. You kind of get used to it, but you can't ask for help. You can't, oh, please don't do that. It makes me feel bad because it just gets worse. Yep. All right. So, well, we're here to talk about the event, not your interesting last name, but it's very interesting. I like that. It's a good conversation starter too. Not that you would start the conversation, but somebody that's, that picks up on it can actually use that as a good way. Do you have anything with drips on it, like a military
how the military puts the name, or the police put their name on the thing where it would say drips, because I think you ought to have a shirt that says drips on there.
I don't, but maybe I'll put something together.
There you go. All right. Anyway, so we're talking here to talk about the Jeep Babes Enthusiast Club Michigan chapter. All right. So I got to ask, how many chapters, and where are all of them at? And you don't have to give me a whole list, but I think it might be something that people would be interested in joining in the other areas of the country if they're not close to the Michigan chapter.
That's a great question. We actually did make some organizational changes late last year, early this year. Some of our chapters have actually closed down. We did have about 10-ish across the U.S. Right now, Michigan has been our largest chapter and remains over 4,700 members now.
Wow.
So a lot of our energy and focus has been put into continuing the membership and the outreach that we do in Michigan. We do have it's called Worldwide Chapter, and that is by our founder, Chrissy Sykes. She lives in Tennessee. So we do still have that one available. There's 2 Facebook pages, one that supports the Michigan chapter and one that supports the Worldwide chapter.
Very cool. 4,700 members. So give me an idea of some of the things that you guys do. I know you have this event every year, but surely there's some things going on during the year. What would be the interesting thing that would want people to join? I'm assuming you're open for more people to join. I mean, when I heard it's 4,700, maybe you're full.
No caps. We're always welcoming new members. I think the thing that makes us stand out is that we do focus on female members, and that's primarily to just make new women to the Jeep community feel welcome. I think it's gotten a lot better over the years, but I think that there's a lot of females who can attest that it can be very intimidating joining a co-ed group and wanting to ask questions about your vehicle and learn about your vehicle without fearing that you're going to be maybe ridiculed or belittled. So we welcome all women, all Jeeps. We don't care what kind of Jeep you drive, because to us, Jeep is a sense of community. It's not just about the off-road capabilities that these vehicles have. And so we have members that have everything from a Renegade all the way up to a lifted Wrangler that, is on 37. So we've got lots of different types of members. It's very much a community. We do we do a mixture of things, from social events to off-road events, volunteering in between, as well as putting on some fundraisers throughout the year. So we really have something for everyone. Our members are spread all around the state of Michigan, so you can pretty much find a small concentration of members in any area of the state. And, we're always doing coffee meetups or, like I said, off-road events. We like to hang out at Hollyoaks Off-Road Park and things like that. So lots and lots of things for any member to do, and we just welcome you in with open arms.
So do you guys do anything with being all spread out like that, but for people that may be not able to come to the local events, or maybe you hold events across the state, do you have any kind of like a meeting, like an online meeting where you guys can get together and chat like we do with our roundtable? Maybe have a Zoom meeting and you can have 100 people join the meeting, and you just chat about things, or maybe talk about the events that are going on. Do you do anything like that?
We don't have regular standing events for our members. Occasionally, the leadership will put together what we like to call fireside chats, yes, where we invite people to ask all of the questions about all of the things, and we try to answer as many as we can. We haven't done one lately. We get very, very busy in the warmer months, as you can imagine. And so it's typically something that we do more in the fall and the winter. And we just try to connect with our members that way. But our Facebook page is very active. There's lots and lots of posts happening all day, every day. So we do stay fairly connected in that sense.
So I know this is going to sound like I'm picking on the quote unquote lesser Jeeps, but the people that do not have truly off-road capable Jeeps, that they're all welcoming them, and I agree with that. That's great. That's a great way of doing it. But I would think that in an off-road event, it could cause challenges if somebody comes out there in a stock Renegade? Do you have to have a conversation with them as far as, because, you know, there's all kinds of levels of knowledge about going off road. Do you have to have a conversation or say, hey, we think you probably would be better off riding with so-and-so? Do you have those situations? Or maybe the off-roading that you guys do doesn't require anything other than just, you know, being able to drive on dirt?
Yeah, so that's a great question. We do try to have a variety of events that will cater to all levels. And then when we do have those types of trail riding events, we put, you know, a stock vehicle can do this, or, you know, we suggest no less than, so that somebody going into it knows. And we also offer up proactively, if you are more comfortable riding with somebody the first time, please, you know, let us know.
It's a great way to learn how to wheel too.
Exactly,
right, with somebody that knows how to do it.
Yeah. And then we go, you know, I love Rocks and Valleys, which is in central Michigan, and there's literally something there for everyone. Even if you just wanted to drive around the park in circles and on the dirt road, you know, the main loop, you could do that. So we tend to try to stay to more mild trails when we do them. And then most people are pretty good about questioning it too. Like, hey, I've never been off-road before. Is this something that my Jeep can do?
Oh, they're probably terrified too. And they don't want to ask the question. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's that safe space that we create. They see other people asking it, or they see bits and pieces of those types of details in the event. So I think that helps them feel more comfortable asking the question too.
So after I got the Gladiator, I was concerned because, you know, it has such a horrible departure angle with that long bed on the back. And I mean, I'm not really timid about stuff. I was asking questions, but I made sure I got behind another Gladiator so I could watch and see how that Gladiator
that helps.
that handled it. So you could like stack up the Renegades, you know, or it's not just Renegades. Does anybody come out in a Compass or some of the other what I would consider to be the non four-wheel drive, non off-road Jeeps?
I have seen the Renegade mostly comes to mind as like the smaller Jeeps. I know we have a lot of members that I personally had a Grand Cherokee for a while as my daily driver, because my off-road Jeep is not street savvy. Like if I hit 30, I'm doing a death wobble. So I don't I don't drive it on the road. So a lot of the times when we were going to events, most of them, the social events, I was in my Grand Cherokee. So, I think we have a few that are Compass drivers. They don't really go to the trail events. They go to more of the social types of events.
Sure. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah.
They know,
if you're just there to social, it's nice being part of the Jeep family. And certainly, as long as you have a Jeep and not a Toyota or a Prius, you're certainly part of the Jeep family.
Sure.
So I tell people really quick, because there's often this thing about people, you see it on TikTok a lot too, and Instagram, where they say, I got the death wobble, and they've got a little shaking of the steering wheel. Tell people the difference between steering shaking a little bit and death wobble. It's a real easy thing that I use, a real easy way to know the difference between the two.
If you are doing this and your Jeep feels like it's going off one side or the other of the road, you have a death wobble. If it's just a little bit of bump steer, that's different, where you can correct it. Death wobble, once it starts, you can't correct that. You got to stop.
So here, I want to tell you what I say, because I think it's funny. So the difference between a little wheel shake and death wobble, you thought you were going to die.
Yeah.
it's death wobble if you thought you were going to die. This is it. I'm coming, Jesus. Let go of the wheel.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't know what to do here. I'm just, exactly. Yep.
All right. So anyway, let's get back to the event. Not your fault, mine. Jeep Babes Enthusiast. And what's the date on this?
Saturday, September 20. Oh my gosh.
Oh my God. You're here to do an interview. And you don't know the date of what you're here to talk about.
I have to look at my months because it's the 26th, because I was going to say 22nd. I'm like, that's not right. It's Saturday, September 26th. We'll be at the Birch Run Speedway in Birch Run, Michigan from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Oh, and tell everybody who's emceeing the event.
Chris from the Jeep Talk Show is going to be our MC. This will be his second year helping us out.
So he got some sort of info or some sort of dirt on you that he's using to parlay his way into doing this event, because he did it last year too, right?
He did, yeah.
Yeah, as I recall, he had fun doing the event. Actually, if you guys are interested in meeting Chris, and he's got a Gladiator. He may have had the Gladiator last year, but you'll probably see the gray Gladiator out there. And I may have to chastise him if he doesn't put the Jeep Talk Show logos on the side, but you should see Jeep Talk Show logos on the side of the Gladiator. But
they were there the last time I saw it. They were there. So.
Oh yeah. So he's on 35s now. He's got a AEV 2-inch lift, and he's sporting it now. So it's he's kind of got the same setup as I got set up, but mine's always better because my Gladiator's red.
I joined the Gladiator community very recently.
Did you?
I got my Gladiator in April. Yeah, 2025. I haven't done anything with it yet.
Okay,
but,
I was going to ask. I highly recommend, this is not paid because I didn't get it for free or anything. I highly recommend the Motobuilt skid system.
Okay.
When I saw some of the pictures, and it's just like a flat bottom on the bottom of that Gladiator with a 1/4-inch, I think, steel. I was like, oh, and it's all this smooth. The bolts and everything are countersunk. There's nothing there. If there's a zombie apocalypse, you're not going to get hung up on the zombies because you'll just slide right over them.
Perfect.
I love that thing. And really, I think for any vehicle that you take off road, when you have some nice solid protection, because you can't see. I mean, you see that rock and you figure, oh, I might hit on something, but you don't know the exact height that it is. And then when you have a nice skid system on there, like what I've got on the Gladiator now, I don't care.
Yeah, it's going to hit, and it's not going to get hung up or rip something off. Yeah.
Go into all the trouble of sanding it and primering it and painting it, which is like ridiculous because it's going to get scraped off. But still, you have to do all that, and then bolting it up on there. It makes you feel like you're invincible. Because you don't have to worry about hitting any low hanging fruit, and it's so much more substantial than the factory skids. Oh, and by the way, this is one of the things they talk about, the weight, and I have seen zero difference in my miles per gallon, and I measure it, where I actually put the mark down the gallons and the miles and stuff, not just what the computer from the Gladiator says. So I've seen zero difference in the miles per gallon. So I love it. Absolutely love it. Motobuilt makes
so you're still getting like 17.5 or
I wish. I've been doing 13 to 14 since I got it. I think the first 6 months or so before I started modifying it, I was seeing something along the lines of 17. But no, it's about 14 something if we're doing a lot of highway.
Yeah. Okay.
My wife drove our oldest daughter's car the other day, a Subaru, and she said she was amazed because she drove it like to her mom's house and back, and she couldn't tell any difference. It was still, past full after doing that. In the Gladiator, you see it drop a good 1/4 of a tank, or
for sure,
1/4 of a tank. But I told her that's the price you pay for being one of the cool kids.
Yeah.
All right. So I think you mentioned some of this already, but let's go over it again. What is going on at the event? What's the big draw? What's the main draw for the event?
Oh, wow. Well, we have live music this year, and we're going to have tons and tons of raffle prizes. And lots
you got
of
to stop there. You got to give me an idea what the raffle prizes are going to be.
All kinds of stuff. We're still kind of putting some things together. We're getting donations from some local businesses around. But we actually just got a vacation package worth $2,800 that we're going to be raffling off.
My goodness.
We have a full, oh my gosh, what is it called? The floor mat kits, the install kits. I can't even think of what it's called.
Is it, I'm going to screw you up if I say this. What is it? I'm forgetting the really nice stuff that doesn't have all of the smells. If you get water in there, it, I love that stuff. And I can't remember the name of the company.
Yeah. I gotta bring out my,
no,
my
take your time. This is fine.
Yeah, we've got all kinds of things coming in. We're, like I said, we're still actively reaching out to get support from some of our local businesses and things of that nature, but definitely excited about some of the prizes that we have coming.
Do you have
We're
the details
also,
on the Do you have the details on the vacation package? Like, is it wherever you want to go, or is it a specific place, or?
it's a hotel package in Florida for I believe it's a 3-night stay at a resort down there, and that is about all the detail I have on it. I haven't been as close to the prizes this year as I was in previous years. We have a planning committee for the first time this year instead of just 3 people planning it. So,
Oh, nice.
it's, yeah. So there are basically folks that are like owning different parts of things. But I just got, looks like we've got Bell Tire donated some gift certificates. Hothead Headliners donated some things that will be raffling off as well. Some local restaurants and things that have donated gift cards. We've got some VIP passes for some of the attractions in Frankenmuth, which is a local town that does a lot. They have a lot of activities and things there, and there's a water park and things. So we've got some gift cards from them. So yeah, all kinds of goodies that are coming in to be raffled off. And
is it a certain area in Florida or like a certain town?
I think it's Destin. I was trying to find the.
Well, while you're looking at that, I'll mention, I don't know if the flooring thing was ArmorLite or not, but I looked it up.
Yes.
That's the one. Now, ArmorLite is great stuff.
Yes.
It is really, really nice. I have not purchased any. I just have the Jeep fitted floor mats in my Gladiator, but I highly recommend getting something down there and something that plugs into the little drain holes. That way, and more than likely, it's not going to be rain or water that has egress in there. It's more than likely going to be somebody's Coke that they spill.
Yeah. My husband's real good at dumping coffee in my new cars.
Exactly. So don't get it because you're a badass off-roader. Get it because you got kids or you got a clumsy spouse, because that's what it's going to be used for. You're going to love
the cup too hard and it breaks everywhere.
Oh, exhibitions of strength. Yeah.
Exactly.
So, but that ArmorLite is really nice because it's made of stuff that you do not have to worry about it getting all moldy and stinky. And it does plug into those drain holes as well, and it's full fitted. I'd love to get a set for my wife's TJ because I have been out in the rain with it. One of those quick, very heavy showers that happens, and I couldn't believe how much water got into the Jeep. And I had a top on, but I didn't have the side, so it was actually being blown in. So, yeah, that ArmorLite is very nice stuff.
Yeah, and it looks like it is a gift certificate for full replacement flooring for a JK or 4-door JL.
That's a big deal because the front part, which most people get, is not super expensive, but when you start adding in the rear, it gets really expensive. And of course, it's nice if it matches, and also too, if it's not protected, that's where the Coke is going to get spilled.
Exactly. Of course. That's like Murphy's Law, right?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. All right. So you got a bunch of giveaways, you got a bunch of raffles going on. And what else you got going on out there? What else is there for people to do?
We actually just got confirmation that we're going to have a couple of monster trucks out there for the kiddos. And we're working with the local police and fire departments to get some fire trucks and police cars out there so the kids can kind of crawl around and climb through them. I don't know about you. I always enjoyed that when I was a kid.
Oh yeah.
And maybe even a SWAT vehicle. So we're trying to put some fun things together for the whole family. As I mentioned earlier, we're going to have some live music out there. And of course, food, right? We've got some great, snack vendors lined up, and then the concession stands at Bertrand Speedway will be open for purchase as well. So lots and lots of things going on. You come out and you can shop, buy some raffle tickets, hear some great music, and bring the kids, bring the whole family.
What's the weather like in the end of September? Here, it's still hot as hell.
It can be hit or miss. Last year, we started out I had I had layers on. I was in like light sweatpants and a sweatshirt. By the midday, I was in shorts and a t-shirt. So it ended up being a beautiful day. We've had years where it got really cold and windy, and we had a blanket vendor, and they sold out of every blanket because it was so cold for people. And the first year, it was like record-breaking heat. So it kind of just varies. September is usually a really great time, though, here in Michigan, because you get just a little bit of a chill, but it can be nice and warm and sunny by the afternoon. So we're hoping for that this year.
Does any of that play into the scheduling of the event, where you don't want it too cold because it can get quite cold in Michigan, but you would like to have it, you would like to have your best luck for a good day.
Yeah, exactly. And that it was strategic because our first year was in June. And like I said, it was like 90 plus degrees. And usually June in Michigan is great. Like it's between, mid 70s to low 80s is like typical June weather. But just every now and then we get those like crazy spikes, if you will.
Sure.
And it was really hot that time. So we're like, all right, let's push it back a little bit farther. But we didn't want to go as far as October because that can get a little bit rainy. So we landed on September, and this will be our 4th year doing it in September.
Yeah. Down here in Southeast Texas, I remember I've always lived in this area. I'm only 50 miles from where I was born, 50 miles east, 50 miles west. And I remember Halloween, and it was always a crapshoot for, is it going to be cold? And when I say cold, like 50s, maybe 60s. Is it going to be cold for Halloween, or is it going to be warm? And when you're a fat kid running around collecting candy, cold is better.
Yeah.
but I remember it was maybe a 50-50 shot on the cold, and we were always excited when it was nice and chipper outside.
Yeah, I grew up in Arizona, and so Halloween in Arizona, it was always hot, always. So like your costumes, you were trying to go less, not more.
Oh yeah. For Arizona, that's one of the places I'd like to go off road, to go wheeling. Have you ever been wheeling in Arizona?
Oh yes, lots and lots of it. It's night and day from Michigan, that's for sure.
Oh yeah.
I do miss that. Arizona is pretty great because it's wide open spaces, and what I mean by that is it's a lot of state-owned land. And unless it says otherwise, like if it's a dirt road, you can take it.
That's
and you can camp off of it. And that's the really nice thing. I do miss that about Arizona. We were out pretty often, did a lot of the trails out there, explored a lot, and lots of rock crawling, that kind of wheeling. There's dirt trails too, but it's a lot of rock climbing, rock crawling type wheeling. So
you were probably camping out there as well, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. We did a lot of dry camping or wilderness camping. Very often we would drive up somewhere, do the trail all day, camp that night, do a little bit more wheeling in the morning before we headed back home. So
does it get chilly there? Like they talk about the desert is hot during the day and cold at night?
It can, for sure, especially when you get away from the concrete jungle of Phoenix.
Right.
It can drop in the evening and get pretty chilly, and then it's like blistering hot the next day. So we spent a lot of our wheeling season, although we were wheeling year round, a lot of it was, we would do it from usually like late September through like April is where we did.
You don't want to die. Yeah. I've been to Phoenix several times. I used to do some consulting work, and I think I went to Phoenix a total of 6 or 7 times. And my God, it was during the summer. And my God, it was hot. It's hot when you get off the plane. And by the way, I had to walk down stairs. It wasn't even one of those little things that shoots out like you get off the plane that's air conditioned. I had to walk downstairs off the plane. And then as I was walking across the tarmac and I got next to a stucco building that was there on the runway, the stucco building was giving me more heat than the noon sun.
Oh yeah.
I felt more heat coming from the stucco building. Of course, it's absorbing it and stuff, so I understand. But it felt like people talk, it's a dry heat. Bullshit. It is hot. It feels like a damn blow dryer.
Yeah, you know what I tell people? Go stick your head in the oven and tell me it's a dry heat, because that's what it's like.
It's rough. So don't go for that Bill Paxton bullshit. It's hot. I mean, and I'm Southeast Texas. It's wet and hot here. It may be dry and hot, but it ain't that big of a deal. Big of a difference, I should say. All right. So anyway, we got up and all the way up to the facilities. So everybody expects there to be bathrooms and places where you can change diapers and stuff, but it's always good to cover that. So is there, you got good facilities out there at the event so people can bring their children? It's a family friendly event. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. That is a great question. Good call out. It is a permanent structure. So the Bertrand Speedway,
nice. And
they're very, very nice, restrooms and facilities there. So yeah, there will be all of that. It's not porta potties. It's a structure that lives there. So
the women, I don't even like porta potties, but I know the women hate those things. Boy, they stink.
Yeah,
they stink so bad.
Yeah, definitely nice. Permanent restrooms, lots of stalls. So plenty of everything. There's lots of good seating for the family too, right up by the stage area. There's picnic tables that are covered. So you can grab some food, sit down, listen to the music. And then our event actually takes place on the racetrack, which is kind of exciting. So all of our vendors are usually set up in the grassy center part of the track. It's a circle track. And then we park the show and shine vehicles. So all of the Jeeps and whatever make and model will be entered. We're going to line them around the track. And that's typically how we set up the event. So you can't race around the track. Obviously, we ask people to not do that. It will get us in trouble. I wish. But
if you're a man, can you come out there with a dress and do some drag racing?
You could do some drag. I don't know about the racing part, but yeah. So it's kind of a novelty thing to be able to drive your vehicle out, park it on the track, get some pictures of it. We had a lot of people that were sort of backing up to the highest bank on the track and taking their pictures before they would before exiting. So it's kind of a fun thing to be able to do. Park your vehicle on the track, get some pictures, and really just we're trying to build a car show community. And so we want people to come out, enter your vehicle. It's a $25 donation to enter your vehicle. 100% of that goes back into the charity. And, bring your lawn chairs and sit out and just visit and talk the way you would at any other typical car show. Do some shopping, support our vendors. We have we have 30 vendors registered already this year out there with all kinds of stuff, not just Jeep or automotive related. So really that's what it's all about, is just spending the day and supporting a great cause.
So 2 questions. Give me some of your, and I know it's like who's your favorite child thing, but give me some of your name brand vendors that people would really like to go out there and see. And how do you become a vendor? I'm assuming you still are open to getting more vendors.
Yeah, absolutely. Great question. So I'm always a sucker for the food vendors. We've got a lemonade vendor coming out. I'm really excited about it. Lemonade is like my favorite thing. And I'm going to plug my husband for a second because I'm really excited about him and proud of him. We just started a laser engraving business and we'll be out there. He'll be out there running our tent, and you can get custom laser engraved anything, really. He does tumblers, he does signs, he does slate coasters, like whatever you want. You can put your Jeep on something or your vehicle on something.
Does he do tattoo removal?
He does not do tattoo removal.
Mention that to him. That'd be a good, funny tattoo removals. We have our ouch discount.
Exactly. But yeah, we've got some cool stuff. Lots of, we have a gentleman, he reached out to me. He is not on Facebook or socials or anything, but he makes Korean cutting boards. He used to do wood cutting boards and he saw a niche, an
Everybody
opportunity.
needs a cutting board.
Exactly. And so he hand carves out, the state of Michigan. We're very proud of our Michigan roots here. So he does Michigan shaped cutting boards and he'll be out there. And we've got some t-shirt vendors and all kinds of stuff, really something for everyone. And we are looking for more vendors. Of course, we want to make sure that we have attendees to support those vendors too. So I'm looking for more show and shine participants and entrants.
Yeah, you'd like for them to come back next year.
Exactly. And so if you are interested in being a vendor or know somebody who might be, we do have our Facebook page for the event that you can find us on Facebook through the Jeep Babes Michigan chapter. It's showing 2026 Show and Shine, a charity event for Haven, and also just jbmichigan.org, and that will take you to our website. And we have a tab for Show and Shine event information there as well.
Very, very nice. So, if you're in the Show and Shine, I only ask this because sometimes people want to leave the event a little early, especially if it's a hot day or they've had enough and they need to get out of there. Is there an issue as far as being in the Show and Shine and where people are parking and getting out of the event to leave? Do you have to wait till the end? I guess is what I'm asking.
Yes, because of where we place the vehicles. If we were setting up in the parking lot, we would be a little bit more accommodating to that. But because we're going to be on the track, and that is where people will be walking to and from vendors, things like that, just for the safety of our guests, we do ask that if you have a vehicle entered, that it remains until the end of the event, just for everybody's safety. Obviously,
I'm just trying to think ahead. Yeah, I'm just trying to think ahead for the folks. It's, I mean, you're just sitting in a chair and answering questions about your Jeep or watching the looky-loos. Appreciate your Jeep. So it's not difficult to stay there, but plan on being there the entire event. Exactly. There's vendors. You can always get waters and drinks and stuff to eat, but bring some waters out there with you in case, you don't want to head over to the vendors, and you just plan on being there all day. I guess is what I'm telling you.
Yep, exactly. Yep.
All right. What have we missed? What's something you wanted to add in here about the event that we didn't cover?
I just would like to be very clear that although this is hosted by a Jeep Enthusiast Club, this event is open to everybody. All makes So we're trying to just expand the sense of community across all automotive enthusiast club. Like, we recognize there are motorcycle clubs and sports car clubs and classic car clubs, and really it's about a sense of community and at the end of the day, giving back to a resource that does help anyone in the community, regardless of whether you have a Jeep or not. And so the biggest message I think I want to share is we invite everybody to come out. I don't care if you drive a Jeep or not. If you have a motorcycle and you want to put it in the Show and Shine, that's really what it is. And even if you have a stock vehicle and you're like, well, I'm not going to enter it, I don't have anything to show off. It's really your vehicle being parked there just shows that you're supporting this event. It's not necessarily about winner.
It's not like you guys are making money off of this. This money's going to charity. Give the $25 and you're giving to the charity, and you're getting your Jeep out there for people to look at. Oh, is the Show and Shine open to everybody? I don't know if you said that or not.
It is open to everybody. Yeah. So,
their Harley motorcycle could be parked there.
Yes. And we would love to see that because, last year, I think was the first year that we decided to expand it past Jeep vehicles. And we had mostly Jeeps, which to be expected, that's traditionally what we've been. But I want to say we only had 3 motorcycles out there. And I know there are way more motorcycle enthusiasts out there than that.
There's probably a lot of Jeepers that have a motorcycle as well.
Yeah. And I think we had 2 Mustangs maybe. And then primarily Jeeps after that, a couple of Broncos. But that's it. Like, we would love to see that friendly rivalry between, Broncos and Jeeps. Bring out the Broncos. I want to see them. I appreciate a Bronco. I can say it.
So you guys are, for the Show and Shine, you're giving away awards, right? Yeah,
we have, we're going to be awarding 3 prizes for Best in Show, different categories. So, and 2 of them are plaques, and one of them is this really cool custom made trophy that's a clock that's made out of a timing chain.
Nice.
So yeah, so we're really excited, and we want to invite everybody to come out and enter your vehicle in the Show and Shine, and just come support us.
I don't know if you have time to get it made, but I think this would be a great idea. Do an award, and this is primarily for the Broncos, best pretend Jeep. And then you could give that to, you're a Jeeper, you know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
Maybe you could make it a duck.
You reminded me, that just reminded me of, we used to give out an award, and I think it's hilarious, but it was the least likely to make it home.
It's an XJ.
Funny enough, yes, we awarded it a couple XJs. But the funny part is, it wasn't about, is your Jeep crap or not? It was really like, who do we know that's going to go out there and wheel the heck out of this thing?
And it really is more about that, isn't it? Yeah. It's not like it's actually a piece of shit to start with. It's just like you're going to beat the hell out of it and it may not return.
And that was the intent of it. But man, handing that award off to some people, I don't think they got it. And they were not real happy about it. So we decided not to do that one anymore because, unfortunately, I don't think everybody had the full context of it. And so
you have to know a little bit about off-roading and a little bit about the difficulties that Jeepers go through. And I'm not talking about being third in line at Starbucks in the morning. I'm talking about where you actually go out there and a wheel comes off. Sometimes it's the wheel on the outside.
Oh, yeah. We had one of our trail rides in Arizona, somebody's tire actually came off, and to limp it off the trail, we had a log.
Yeah, the big stick thing. I love those videos.
Tied, with tie downs, and we were wheeling that thing off, limping that thing off the trail.
You learn so much. It's like leave it there or get it out. No, I'm not leaving it here. I don't care. Sometimes they tie it. They'll tie the front end. If it's a front end tire, they'll tie the front end of the Jeep to the back of another Jeep, and now the Jeep is being one of the tires. So it's cool. It's very interesting. It's a weird hobby, lifestyle. But it's really cool. It teaches you problem solving. There is a solution to any problem, and it doesn't require calling AAA.
Yep, I do agree with that. You definitely get very resourceful when you have to.
Yeah. Okay, I warned you ahead of time. We're gonna find out who you're, where we find you on social media, Dottie. So tell us about your social media. You've mentioned it a couple of times about Facebook, and the website. Website is jbmichigan.org. JB like JB Weld. So go over there and check that out. And if you're a vendor and Michigan's not too far, or you're in Michigan, go over there to that website or their Facebook and contact them. Be a vendor out there. We'd like to see your pictures. And as far as looking at pictures, again, for the social media, where can we follow you along on social media?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we are on Facebook and Instagram, Jeep Babes Enthusiast Club, MI chapter, so Michigan chapter. Instagram would be Jeep Babes Enthusiast Club _MI. And then the actual event page, we do have an event page under that. So if you find our public page, the Show and Shine event can be found under our events tab. You can also search it up by 2026 Show and Shine, and it will come up as charity event for Haven. So definitely all over different social media avenues.
That's great. Yeah. Well, people can check it out. I'm sure there's pictures and videos of last year's event, which should give them an idea of what's going on, the layout and all that stuff, because that's always good to know. It's always good to have the information before you go out there. I mean, it's exciting when you get there, but then again, you may have thought, oh, I should have brought such and such, or should have brought this, that, and the other. So this will get me in trouble, but I'm used to it. Have you considered, and we talked a little bit about this, not this specifically, but Jeep Babes may have a different connotation to certain people. Have you ever considered a Jeep Babes calendar? I think it would be a big seller. It's for charity.
It's funny. We have a Jeep Babes calendar, but not in the sense that you're thinking. It's just our membership calendar, and we feature pictures of the events that we did for the prior.
Yeah, that's a good idea. But when you said 4,700, my God, there'd be a lot of women with hurt feelings. What do you mean I didn't make the Jeep Babes calendar? Well, there's 4,700 of you. You can't see nothing with 2,000 people on each page. So you need to do a Jeep Babes calendar. I wonder how many people would buy that, thinking one thing. Some not that they're not sexy women in Jeep Babes, but the ones, the model types and stuff that they put in those calendars, and they get it and they give it to their husband, or they give it to their boyfriend, or they give it to the favorite uncle, and then they see just regular, everyday, lovely women. Exactly.
That would be kind of interesting to see people buy it assuming one thing and get the other. But
of course, on the outside, you got to get really with AI. It's real simple to get a really good buy me picture.
Yeah, I could see where that would go sideways quickly, I'm sure.
Exactly. What's it? Federal Trade Association or whatever it is, they'd be contacting you. Oh, we had deceptive advertisement here. All right, Dottie, thank you so much for being here today. Thanks for coming back, and good luck at the event. Again, Chris from Jeep Talk Show will be out there emceeing the event, and go out there and give him a hard time. Ask him what dirt he has on Dottie. He will force you to take a Jeep Talk Show sticker, and and really suck up to him. Tell him, hey, can I get a picture in front of your Jeep? I just want to get a picture of you next to your really cool Gladiator, and then laugh and laugh and laugh.
Oh, I love it.
I appreciate Chris. Chris is a good guy.
He is. Yeah. Love working with Chris.
All right, Dottie, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
You're my friend. You're my new friend.